Are we finally going to do it? What are you going to do with the rest of your life, especially with the new year coming up? Are you going to make that impact? Today, we're going to get supercharged on our vision and get past some of our struggles, our internal struggles, our inner and outer struggles that stop us from making that impact that we are created to do. So, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Start planning that today. You know what? It doesn't even matter your age or your situation, because we all have a need, skills, talents, opportunities to be the impact in the world. So along with making an impact, we have to look at our own values, our goals, how we're talking to ourselves, how we're looking at others, and just get our values and our integrity together so that we can strive for the highest and look ourselves in the mirror, look at others in the eye, and be able to make a great impact in their life so that they can also want to reach for higher goals. So we're going to talk about our own choices, our integrity, what we think about, the use of our time and our speech, and just so much more to be inspired and motivated to make an impact, because that is so important. And as you know, this is the nurseann.com podcast. That's Ann with an E. Link in the description, nurseann.com. And if you're new, this is an audiobook podcast where I read you a chapter of my published fictional drama, The Mental Files First 6 Stories edition. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to save it for the end, for the bonus, the icing on the cake, so that you can be a part of that action, adventure, advocacy, and awareness, because I am Nurse Ann. I'm a nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency for many years and still going. And I found many ways to encourage you, encourage others, encourage myself, even people that sometimes feel they're stuck. That could be you. Sometimes it's me. We're stuck in just a box of our own negative thoughts, a box of limitations, whether it's a medical, mental health, self-imposed labels, just anything that can make us feel like we can't contribute and can't make an impact. So we're all about jumping past that, breaking out of those boxes, because even if you do have any limitations, that you still can be a superhero in some fashion in someone's life, including your own. So we're going to jump into that. And the first one we're going to start with is we're going to jump into the devotionals first that I published in my free time as a busy nurse on the front lines, which reminds me, even if you're very busy in your career, your family, both, school, whatever, you can chip away at your talents, your visions a little bit at a time. And one day you can achieve that to supercharge your life and spill that onto others. So we're going to start with my Inspiration Battles devotional, which I published. This is the paperback. That is the hardcover. And there's a couple inspiring things in here I want to read to you. And one, a few of them in here. And the first one is actually called Impact, which is all about today's episode. So in this year, and New Year is coming, this month, this day, have you resolved to make an impact? And maybe you think, since you're not on a stage with bright lights, lots of followers, that your effort will go unnoticed. Imagine if you were just a lone farmer in a vast field trying to harvest a crop all by yourself. Just as that task would be next to impossible, while we're trying to make that impact, while we're even trying to win others on that great commission to also live their best life, we all need each other in this endeavor, and even in this divine endeavor. And if we're followers of God, if we just want to help others, we're all on the same job descriptions as we prepare our bait and our fishing lines. And although we might have different sized boats, we all still have the potential to reel in nets of changed lives, just for better lives, for the glory of God, just helping others on their life destiny, no matter what they're caught up in. And nothing that you do is small or insignificant. Yet, the spotlight is on us in places we don't even expect. People are always watching to see how we react to insults, offenses, and the daily pressures of life. And this is so true. So before you head out on your daily mission, make sure you prepare by spending that time in prayer and renewing your mind. You can renew your mind, spending that time with God and His Word, also just doing some soul searching in your own life, thinking about your vision, thinking about how you're spending your time, things that you might want to look at to refine, change, work on. And then when the complexities of life squeeze us, hopefully the fruit of love, forgiveness, and compassion will be what comes out of our mouths and is evident by our action toward others. And once again, that's from my Inspiration Battles devotional at nurseann.com. There is a link, nurseann.com, see below, and also Ann with an E. And I chose a couple more from here. And one that we do have to work on to have the best impact to supercharge our own lives is our maturity level. And honestly, as I said, it doesn't matter your age or station. You could be young, teenager, young adult, older, whatever. We still are always learning and growing and can work on that maturity so that we can walk in that integrity to help ourselves and help others. So I feel like maturity can be evidenced by what we do and what we say. And even by what we don't say and what we choose to hold back from. As I said, our chronological age is not a guarantee for wise choices. Maturity is not learned from a stack of books. However, we can set an example for others to follow when we choose words and actions derived from a heart of love, faith, and purity. And God tells us that when we walk in maturity, we will remain grounded in truth and not be easily deceived and led astray. We will begin to speak truth and demonstrate deeds that look like agape in action. And that, agape is that highest love. Even when we're not always treated like right, we can still choose to love and be an example to others. And when we speak true wisdom, gleaned from God's teachings, it might confuse those who are still walking in childish ways. And even we walk in childish ways sometimes. And when He can trust us to make the hard choices consistently, He will reveal even deeper truths and revelations that were previously hidden from our understanding. Therefore, try not to worry about what you might be missing out on by passing over foolish pursuits. Instead, stay on that steady course and reap the fruit of that God-centered life. Once again, Word Puzzles Devotional by Nurse Ann, your favorite nurse and new indie author. I'm a nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency and still going. And I created this channel to inspire you to go for your dreams no matter what's going on in your life and live a healthy life. One more I picked is X-ray. And so what would be the price for an X-ray of our heart? Our thoughts and our true feelings toward others. What would that X-ray reveal? X-rays are processed in the dark, but reveal the inner truth we try to hide. This prognosis requires spiritual surgery by our heavenly physician. And God does use the sharpness of His word to examine our thoughts and attitudes. We might be able to hide our innermost thoughts and desires from others, but nothing can escape the piercing spotlight of His Spirit. For renewed health and vitality, as evidenced by the words we speak and the way we treat others, don't delay to schedule your appointments for this life-changing transformation. And I wrote Inspiration Battles devotional because it's soul searching with a dose of encouragement, because I know, even for me, sometimes daily, the battle to stay inspired can seem overwhelming at times. And I want you to embark on this journey of that soul searching and just thinking about your life, getting some wisdom so that you can elevate and supercharge your vision to make that impact. So that's from my Inspiration Battles devotional. And I also chose some from my Word Puzzles devotional, which is interesting words linked to everyday life, along with our inner thought struggles, along with some relevant biblical prescriptions to get your dose of wisdom and inspiration. So I do want you to overcome and thrive, have hope and new light for your life journey, medicine for your soul. What did I choose today? Today I chose And this is an A to Z devotional, as that one was, where I tried to choose kind of different sounding words, give the definition, and then break it apart as it relates to our own life. So the one today is from the letter V. V, this is not Sesame Street, but it's from the letter V. And the word is vacillate. What does that mean? It means to be indecisive, to waver between different opinions. Yes, our minds can get caught in the back and forth, whether we're just confused about a situation. We might be pulled and magnetized by things that we see people around us doing, things that we see in culture, media, and that can cause our mind and our decisions to vacillate, to go back and forth, and sometimes not know which way to choose, or just be, as I said, magnetized to choose something that will get us off track for that supercharged life. So, this road or another route, her opinion or mine, spend beyond the budget or wait, marry him or seek counsel, give away too much of myself to fit in, or spend the weekend alone. What decisions do you find agonizing to choose between? Big and little decisions also have the power to shape the course of our destiny. Wisdom and patience can be life-saving. Wouldn't it be great to have less regret and trouble? How do we know who to listen to? You know what? Luke 6:43 recommends watching the trees. Like our own choices, we are told that a good tree will produce desirable fruit, unlike the rotten tree producing something unhealthy and unedible. And for the ultimate hint, Proverbs 9 instructs when we revere the Lord with a holy and healthy fear, that we'll be on the road to true knowledge. And we're even called foolish if we despise that wisdom and instruction. I don't want to be called foolish, do you? So let's think here for a moment about our choices as we vacillate. Good fruit, rewarding outcomes, and peace of mind, or regret, misery, and being labeled as a fool. I know what I want to pick. What about you? So as you vacillate between your decisions, try to do that soul searching and search for the answers. And this will help you also with my word puzzles devotional by Nurse Ann. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't say it yet. How could you let me forget? Follow this page, like it, leave a comment today, keep it appropriate, follow, subscribe, like, share it with somebody who needs it. We all need mental healing and wisdom and inspiration for our life to make that impact. So what I chose, this is from my mental healing poetry devotional. Who doesn't need mental healing? Almost every day. So today, I chose one called Puppeted or Powerful. Do you feel like sometimes you're puppeted on a string by the world, by what other people are doing, by your own distracting and negative thoughts? So this is inspiring to try to kind of break out of that and be that impact and discover and actually start living out your own talents and dreams and desires. So Puppeted or Powerful is from Mental Healing Poetry Devotional by Nurse Ann, that's me, where we also discuss life challenges along with God-ordained courage and healing to help us turn away from those mindsets controlled by fear. And it's inspiration to step into our true destiny of a faith walk and purpose-driven path. So here goes. Puppeted or Powerful. I'm also a new spoken word artist. Let me know what you think in the comments after you like and follow. Puppeted or Powerful. Craving approval, seeking validation, allowing others to puppet on a string. Do we share our creative gifts or conform to the pressure to fit in? Do we dare break out or just give up without trying to win? God's word provides a clue. If we listen and follow, we will know what to do. Stir up those gifts. Don't let anyone look down. Refuse to buckle under. Put back on your crown. So, investigate your passions, rekindle your vision, Don't worry about the crowd when you make your decision. Yes, God's ways are best, even when critics put you to the test. You can do this. The Lord did not give you a spirit of fear. You have a purpose. There's a reason you're here. So tap into that power, the love, and also a sound mind. And through it all, a great blessing you will find. And that was inspired by 2 Timothy 1:6, where we're reminded that God wants us to stir up the gifts, and he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. And the devotional part of this is for you, and it asks you to fit in with a particular crowd, or to not feel like we need to be worried about losing a certain status or position. We could be tempted to slide into a place where we think that others are pulling our strings. Maybe we don't want to make waves, or we fear starting a disagreement. Perhaps we don't want to stand out and look different. This mindset can stop us from advocating for others, even for ourselves, who might be getting bullied. But unfortunately, these limiting thoughts can also hamper us from standing up for our convictions. Yes, we need to cooperate with others in the sense of unity, but we all have unique talents and contributions that do not have to be silenced to walk in prosperity and blessings. So, do you want to be puppeted or powerful? So that's from my mental healing poetry devotional. Link at the website, nurseann.com, and with an E. My new one is Ignite Life Poetry Devotional, because this one is going to help us spill our passions, our life passions, our talents, to ignite healing and blessings for all. And what I chose today was somewhat kind of along the same lines of puppeted or powerful, and it's called inferior, because a lot of times, and honestly, it can be every day, you see it in young people and teenagers, adults, older adults, where we can feel inferior for a multitude, whatever, of reasons. And so I just wrote this for encouragement for you. So, inferior. Self-loathing. I don't measure up. How will I compare? I just want to fit in and stop wishing life was unfair. My reflection seems subpar, my size, my shape. I don't dress like a star. When will I be enough, satisfied with what I see? Content to be unique, let go and just be. In the devotional part that I'm going to ask you, I want to remind you, first of all, that you are enough. I know you hear that, it sounds like a cliche, but we are often pulled to think that we're not enough because of media, culture, everything, and that's something we have to escape from, that trap. But you are enough. You don't have to fit into a certain mold or adopt the so-called cool way to fit in as promoted in our surroundings. Embrace your uniqueness and remember that you are already enough. And as I said, this is from my Ignite Life Poetry Devotional, just released. Link on the website. I want you to live an ignited life, supercharged life, and make that impact. And the last one, my last devotional, is Energize Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit. There is a link on the website, because our body, mind, and spirit work in synergy so that we'll have the energy and the wisdom to live that best life and make an impact. And so, as I promised, we're going to jump into my published fictional drama, which is full of action, adventure, advocacy, and awareness. I'm a nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency. So in this drama, you get to ride along with the frontline workers, rescuing those in crisis of mental, physical, and spiritual. But you know what? The shifts are 24/7. You will have to buckle up, because this is a bumpy ride filled with danger, action, suspense, lots of action, romance, faith, and inspiration. And this is the Mental Files First 6 Stories edition. It's a 6-part series that I wrote in my free time. What is free time? As a busy nurse, that highlights the struggles that people go through in mental health and emergency, just in life in general. You're going to meet people with different mental health situations going on, also the frontline workers and their relationship drama and the thought battles that they go through. So to make it cheaper and easier, I put it in one book because it is a complete season here. It's going to be a television drama, one day with your help. And to make you feel like you're almost there, it's been released as an audiobook. And it was narrated by Drama Simpson, who brought it to life with siren noises, lots of action and different things. And it's the Mental Files First 6 Stories edition by Nurse Ann. It's at iTunes and Audible, and that is what the cover looks like. You definitely want to listen to that. Think shows like ER, mixed with Touched by an Angel, mixed with Law and Order, just all kind of different action-packed shows that highlight struggles that people really go through and those that are trying to help them, not just the frontline workers, but the family and the community. And so we are in book 2, which is the Mental Files, Dr. John Doe. I'm going to read you that quick chapter and let you go. We already finished book 1, which was Sheep Among Wolves. You met the homeless young lady fighting hallucinations and fending off ravenous predatory wolves out on the street. This one, you met the elderly man running in traffic, screaming he was a doctor. I'm not going to go back and tell you the rest, but I just want you to know this whole drama is filled with just advocacy and awareness also into mental health struggles, homelessness, addictions, people getting bullied, relapse, overcoming things, autism, dementia, anxiety, depression, just so much more, just to help you get an insight and also help you in your own life. So we're going to jump in today. We're in chapter 15, and a lot of things happen. I'm not going to go back and tell you. You can go to the nurseann.com website, and there's a podcast and a Patreon tab if you want to hear it from the beginning. And you can also get the book to ride along in the book club and listen. The audiobook is, I promise, is really exciting. You'll love it. It's at Audible and iTunes. So chapter 15 is Take Me Instead, God. Pacing furiously in the waiting room, the thought of his mom lying on the ground was more than Mars could handle. Before the tears started to gush, he ran to hide in the waiting room bathroom. After locking the door, he sank to the dirty floor as the sobs and prayers mingled together. Oh God, just take me, not my mom. She has always tried to help me with what is best. I'm just a mess up. I just bring trouble everywhere. And there's no way I can show my face in that church again. There's no way anyone would want me involved in their groups. Please help my mom. His plea for help was interrupted by pounding on the bathroom door and demands for him to let someone else in. He's in the emergency room waiting room. After splashing his face with water, he stumbled back into the waiting room with thoughts of fear, despair, and shame. As he looked for a corner to sit in to be out of everyone's way, he noticed the young adult group was talking to Kylina. Mars, we're here for you. We've been praying for you nonstop, offered Jonathan. Mars could not control the gush of tears anymore. How could you all want me around? I've been such a mess. You all seem to have it together. Half chuckling, the group members confessed simple details from their not-so-perfect lives, past and current. What a difference, he thought, from the way his former boss, who was a drug dealer, treated him. This genuine group seemed to truly care for him, unlike the lies and being used that he was recently subjected to. Relieved that he was not in this alone, he allowed the new friends to pull him into a hug. So that's the end of that chapter, and I'll see you on the next podcast for more inspirational wellness along with advocacy adventure. But before we go, follow this channel, like it, leave a comment today, please. I'll see you next time.